Mr. Holland, what prompted you to break away from Mr. Ian Smith's Rhodesian Front?
Well, we have had an honourable difference of opinion. You know, the Rhodesian Front has been, regrettably, apt to do too little too late on many occasions, and I believe the time was apt for us to get cracking with a new line.
Has Mr. Smith reacted to your move?
I think he's just made some small comment in the newspaper. He's not really come back hard at me.
What has been White response to your new party?
White response has been absolutely fantastic, both in organised commerce, industry, farming, and literally hundreds of ordinary people phoning up and expressing their support. There's no doubt at all that this sort of initiative, this sort of new lead, was desperately needed.
Have any other Rhodesian Front MPs joined your party?
I think there are some who are considering their position at this moment, and no doubt they'll make up their minds in due course.
What has been the response from Prime Minister Robert Mugabe's ZANU-PF?
It has been a very warm response. I think there is no doubt at all that the Prime Minister, having extended the hand of friendship in the form of his reconciliation policy against considerable criticism, and with great courage, in my view, has had to face up to this criticism I've mentioned, and would like to see the hand of friendship extended back to him. I believe that this will be only good for our country and for my community.
Is there any reason why you didn't join ZANU-PF?
I believe that at this stage it is much better to do what we have done. I think it would be naive to try and do something of that kind at this moment. In today's paper, the Reverend Sotoli indicated his disapproval of it not being a multiracial party. Now that is exactly the sort of reason why at this stage I felt it would be counterproductive, because everyone who might oppose the Prime Minister would try and get in on the act by joining a white party so as to use it to criticize a political enemy. And I don't believe that that would be in the interest of the country. I don't think it would be in the interest of the objectives of the black people of this country, which is to get together, not to be divisive. My objective is to get us all working together for this tremendous little country of ours, not to be divisive.
Haven't you maintained the status quo of the Rhodesian Front by keeping the party for whites only?
No. I think that that's completely an erroneous conclusion. The British handed down at Lancaster House a policy which, because of the 20 reserved white seats, was racial by nature for a limited period of 7 years, for reasons of stability and to keep the confidence of the whites. And I believe that it is the objective of the Constitution, and indeed my reading of the Constitution, that this objective, which was handed down at Lancaster House, be stuck to. It is absolutely imperative that we retain these skilled workers, skilled professional people here where their needs are tremendous at this stage. We've got to do that. We've got to avoid seeing a situation where, after the hand of reconciliation, the brilliant policy of Prime Minister Mugabe, and on the one hand, the tremendous vote of confidence from Western countries, nearly $1 billion in aid that's been sent out, from countries who've got problems themselves and unemployment themselves. What a vote of confidence that was. I think the time has come for the white community to also respond and say, right, we too are going to pitch in and we're going to make this thing work. Because if we do, I see this country as the Switzerland of Africa. I think we will have one of the highest living standards in the whole of Africa here, and a population that is really proud of our achievements. And gradually, I think racialism and the last barriers of resistance to that will fall away, although every ethnic group will always remain proud of its origins and proud of its own particular standards. That is the same as you have in Switzerland, where you have the French and the Germans and the Italians. They retain their personal pride, but they are loyal, intensely loyal to their country.
But the Lancaster House Constitution doesn't specifically stop a white member of ZANU-PF from contesting the 20 white seats.
Yes, that is true, but it could be argued, if I may put it to you, that if that were done, it could be resisted and resented by the white population. It could be seen as an effort to, in fact, grab all the seats at this stage and not have true white representation there. Because after all, a man who's a member of that caucus has to bow to the whip. This is the way any political party works. And he would then not be free to use the white voice with complete independence. And I think that at this stage of the game, that provision in our Constitution is put there with wisdom. I think it's very, very important that it's there. And I think you would find, if you was to speak to even the Prime Minister, that I would doubt if he would be over anxious to change the situation at this time.
You have been criticized from the Rhodesian Front, particularly the right-wingers, for supporting a one-party state. Could you say something about that?
Well, firstly, of course, that is a bit of a twist of what I actually said. What became apparent in a debate in the Parliamentary Association this last week was that there was a tremendous undercurrent, depth of feeling amongst the black members of the House towards the necessity for a one-party state. Now, I was quite alarmed at some of the press reports that were going overseas at this time, and I was concerned that it could have upset some of the donor countries. Therefore, what I said to them in Parliament during that debate was that if 98% of the people of this country decided that was what they wanted, then that was fine, provided there were the proper qualifications, the proper safeguards for the white people and proper representation put in for them. Then certainly I was not getting too excited and too alarmed about that. Surely that's more intelligent than doggedly standing out against 98% of the people. Isn't it more intelligent to try and see to it that the thing is done in a decent manner, and that the whole world see that it is the will of the people and not some sort of fascist trick?
Mr. Holland, thank you.
Thank you. Well, I think you'll find that most people who think are behind me, and I believe that most of the either they say, right, we agree with you, or else they send me back